Welcome back, all you sports and gambling fans out there. Today, we have some NBA betting coverage for you, and joining me here, Dave Golikov, our SBR contributor. The game we're looking at here is the Chicago Bulls going up against the Brooklyn Nets. And here are two teams that are headed to the playoffs. But while this is a must-win situation for the Nets, as they are only leading Indiana by a half a game for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference, with 2 games left to play, Chicago, on the other hand, has clinched their playoff berth and are 4th in the standings. And regardless of whether they finish with the 3rd, 4th, or 5th seed, Chicago's postseason picture has completely transformed with the solid return of Derrick Rose. Don't you think, Dave?
Yeah, the Bulls are definitely in the championship picture now that Derrick Rose is back. And when you're looking at the lines for tonight's specific contest, you can see that the Bulls, they're actually favored on the road in Brooklyn. So it's a big difference when he's in the lineup and everybody's healthy. Jimmy Butler, of course, too, versus when everybody is out. So tonight specifically, I do like Chicago here because I know it seems like they have less to play for, but at the same time, they are fighting for the number 3 seed. They're trying to avoid falling any further than 4th. They're very likely not going to. Actually, I don't think they can fall further than 4th. But the difference here is if they get the 3rd seed, they face Cleveland in the 2nd round. So do the Bulls want to do that? Do they want to get the win and play with some momentum heading into the playoffs? Or would they rather face the Atlanta Hawks in the 2nd round and face Cleveland in the 3rd round if we get that far? Obviously fleshing it out a lot. But that's kind of been the conversation with Chicago tonight. They're at Brooklyn. Brooklyn needs this game badly. So it should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, man. And again, like you said, I mean, this is a must-win situation for Brooklyn. The only thing I guess that they have going for themselves right now, besides being a half a game ahead of Indiana, is that they do own that tiebreaker with the Pacers if it comes to that. Now, Brooklyn has won 6 of its last 7 home games and won at Chicago in the last meeting between the two, 96-82. Their problem right now is that they are coming into this game after losing to the Milwaukee Bucks 96-73 this past Sunday. Now, do you think they're probably going to be able to get that bounce back situation here, considering that this is a much needed win for them?
Well, it's a tough spot. I think what concerns me is the line and the Nets' performance in their latest game. I mean, Brooklyn's had troubles. First of all, Brooklyn's won 12 of 17, which is good, right? But it seems like they've cooled off of late. They're just 2-3 in their last 5. Now, the first 2 losses were to Atlanta. It was the top seed, and Brooklyn's had some problems with Atlanta. So you say, okay, fine, they struggle with that team. But the latest loss is a big concern because they needed the win, and they went to Milwaukee and got shellacked 96-73. It wasn't even close. So some people looked at this Nets hot streak over the last month and said, oh, this team's a fraud, basically beat up on a bunch of cupcakes. They're not as good as they look. And it appears that that's the case, as they lost twice to the Hawks and to the Bucks. Those are playoff teams, the teams they beat mostly before that. Lakers, Pacers, Portland was without Aldridge. They beat a slumping Wizards team. Their track record over the last month is a bit dubious. I think that's the concern for tonight. Brooklyn needs to win, but at the same time, they're playing Orlando on Wednesday, and Indiana has to go to Memphis on Wednesday. So it's conceivable that Brooklyn loses this game and still makes the playoffs. It's just a matter of whether you believe this Brooklyn team has cooled off after their hot streak, or whether you believe that just a little bit of a slump, especially on the road, and now that they're back at home, they can take care of business.
All right, man. Now, as for the odds, as you pointed out, I mean, the margin is very, very short. It's only a 1-point difference between the teams here, and we have a 200-point total. Now, if we look at the head-to-head trends, against the spread trends, we find that the Bulls are 8-3 against the spread in the last 11 meetings in Brooklyn, while the under is 6-0 in the last 6 meetings between the two. So what's the best play here, man? I mean, should we actually look at the points or maybe probably bet the total?
I like the Bulls in this spot here. It's a short line. I think they're the better team. I watched the Bulls play last Saturday. I was very disappointed in their pathetic win over the Philadelphia 76ers. They nearly blew that game at home. But I think the Bulls have been odd this season in the sense that they've played fairly well away from home and sometimes have choked up at home. Brooklyn needs this game but I think they've kind of cooled off, or something's gone wrong with them, or they've come back down to earth. Losses in 3 of their last 5. The loss to Milwaukee's a concern. I think Chicago gets the job done here and covers the short number.
All right, Dave, great stuff, man. Thanks for the insights and the pick, and we'll talk again soon. Everyone else, don't forget to check back with Dave and me tomorrow for some more sports coverage and your free picks. Till then, for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.